You're seeing this with me. You know, I just checked the cameras. I thought the squirrels were getting into all my stuff. And I was in shock this morning when I saw what has been raiding my garden. So I'm hoping when we get out there, because I haven't picked it, that my tomatoes are still there. See, I have been wondering what's going on behind me here because I had so many tomatoes and then they were gone. And I have tooled some of it, but there's been something odd happening to the tool. I didn't put it up as strong because I wanted the birds to come in on top. And I've noticed when I go and look at them, they're down. And I thought, well, squirrels don't pull the tool down. I don't know if you can see it behind me, because what they do is they get stuck and they might pull it off or rip it a little bit if they try, but then they'll leave. But this has been pulled down. I thought, oh my gosh. Well, let's go look at the tomatoes and see, because if I don't have tomatoes, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm trying to freeze everything. Looking good. Let's see the tomatoes. I'm so excited because I have bags of tomatoes in the freezer and I am gonna have all the tomatoes I want this winter. Let's see what's going on and then I'll tell you what happened because I just panicked. All is good. They're here. You may be having the same issues I had because, you know, we usually deal with tomatoes hornworms. Now, we have a lot of orioles right now, so they haven't been really bothering the hornworms, that is, the tomatoes, because I have the irrigation tubing and the birds will come in and land on this and then pull the young hornworms off, which is fantastic. And I've got more tomatoes behind me. They're all over here. But I looked on the camera this morning and it said that there was movement. And I figured coyotes or something early in the morning. What was moving around were ravens. At first I saw they were playing all over the ground and jumping and chasing each other. The next thing I noticed, they were going into my totes. Why they haven't gone into this one behind me, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe the irrigation tubing, but there's irrigation tubing down there. I don't see anything missing. I do know that there might have been a few more, but see, I don't see any major tomatoes off of them gone. So I think we're good on that. Now I have to deal with ravens. I know some of you deal with raccoons and that's a pain in the you know what. And then bears, I don't think I can help you with bears unless you got yourself a dog kennel like I have down there. Then you can keep everything out and that works really good. So if you got bears, I'm gonna tell you, invest in a dog kennel. They've been really cheap lately. We were so tempted to get another couple, but we have so much we're growing. Though Gary may get one or two for his garden. So that would keep out your bears. That would keep out your raccoons and your deer, a dog kennel. I also found out, I will get a lot more into the dog kennel, is I did not need shade cloth. So don't worry about shade cloth. Put it up whatever way you want. We wired the top so nothing can get in on the top. I'm looking back there. And the shade cloth took too much sun away. Now, if you're in a really hot area, I know a lot of you are burning up, then yes, it probably would help if you go ahead and use the original top or put shade cloth on. We are having the opposite issue that you're having, everybody. And I really feel for you. My heart goes out to all of you in that tremendous heat wave all across half the United States. We have the opposite. We've been in the 50s at night, which is causing, as you can see back here, a lot of my turmeric and my ginger not to grow. It literally will rot out sometimes at the base. I've had that happen to cucumbers and I think 1 or 2 watermelons, so I keep growing them. We're gonna change, I'm pretty sure, though Gary says maybe not. There's the way the jet stream's been going, we've been getting a lot of wind, which is, I already told you last year, it started a little bit, it's a lot more, and it's coming up the canyon and it's making it really cool. So we've got cool wind going on. And then during the day, we've had days where we're about 70, we might get a little higher, but it doesn't last. So we'll have it a little bit hot during the day. We could get into like 80, 85. We had a couple days like that. And then it drops right away. We go back at night to 60, and then in the middle of the night, it goes to about 55, which is too cool for a lot of plants like cucumbers, watermelon, but zucchini and squash don't mind. They can tolerate it. As you can see here, look at this. This is fantastic. I've got squash in there growing. I've got, with the tool only, and then I've got more squash here. I've got all my tomatoes, I got celery, I got sorrel, I got another tomato back here. You can see behind me here, this is the yellow tomato. I do have purple tree colored in here, but see, my watermelon is struggling. I've got watermelon in here. It's got some flowers, but see how wimpy they are? They really like hot weather. When I was a little girl, I used to go with my dad to the farms, and they were out in Ventura, most of them, and they were just growing on a field, just an empty field of heat. I'd go out there in the middle of summer. That's when they would get all their cucumbers and their peppers and their tomatoes and whatever else they were buying, and watermelon, because they like the ground really warm and they like that heat. But without the heat, your plants can struggle, and they are struggling. We're getting a lot of powdery mildew, which is okay. I mean, I just cut it off. The new growth comes in beautiful, but the older growth, which it doesn't need the bottom leaves, I just trim it off. So right now we're okay, and squash is not a problem when it comes to zucchini. I have more zucchini than No. I don't want to say have more than I know what to do with, because I know exactly what to do with it. I'm just bringing them in, washing the zucchini, simply slicing it into rings, big rings, and throwing it in plastic bags in the freezer. So I'm going to have all the zucchini I want for the winter as well, which is fantastic. I could talk a little bit about cooking. That might bring something up here for some of you. Gary used to love chili and enchiladas and all that. And then, hold on, we got a truck going by. And then he noticed he didn't feel that good after he ate it. So I couldn't figure it out, because he can eat pretty much everything, though you know we're gluten-free for our arthritis, and it helps, and other issues. I'm going to tell you, it helps. It's not a farce. It's real. And so anyways, I analyzed it. I think it was the tomato sauce. I mean, I made a heavy sauce. I sometimes cooked up tomatoes. I put in tomato paste. I put in tomato sauce. I even bought sometimes these cans of chili sauce. I mixed it all up. It was too much sauce. So when I eased up on the sauce and started using maybe tomato sauce and some fresh tomatoes that I've got growing, and then I blended up in my blender zucchini. I've thickened it up with zucchini. I might add in a couple tortillas, but you don't have to blend that. You just throw that into the chili. It will dissipate in there, and just, it tastes really good. You do not know the zucchini's there, though. You cannot use anything like pumpkin, and he loves it. And I forgot to make it recently. We were talking about it this morning, that, gee, I haven't made chili for a while, so I'm gonna make chili. I cook my own beans, the dry beans. It's fantastic, but that's easing up on the sauce, because I guess when you're older, sometimes you don't want all that acid, and I think it tastes better. And plus, you're getting a vegetable in there, not just tomatoes, which are fine, but the thing is, you're getting other vegetables. I mean, you could add in other things if you want. You could add a little Swiss chard, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to alter my flavor. Remember, zucchini doesn't alter the flavor of your food. What zucchini does is it gives bulk. It gives vitamins and nutrients, anything in there, and it thickens it up, like I said, the part of the bulk, and it tastes really good. It takes the flavor of whatever you're cooking. So right now, getting away from the zucchini, because I wanted to make sure my tomatoes were fine, and they are. And what I've been doing is I'm growing so many cherry tomatoes. You know I love that over the big ones. I can get them off at this stage, and I can freeze them. Just wash them. It's so easy. Just put them in a colander, wash them, make sure they're dry, put them in a tray. I like putting them in any, cookie sheet or something. Stick them in the freezer. It can be a big tray or a small tray. Freeze them up, and then take it out, put it in a plastic bag, Ziploc bag, date it, so in case you forget about it, but you probably won't, and then throw it in the freezer. Then you can just reach in that bag and take what you want when you need it, and you will have tomatoes all year long at your fingertips. You can slice them up, put them in a salad, you can cook with them. A lot of times when you take them out, the skin will just fall off on some of them. It does on the zucchini. That can work as a benefit too, because some people say the skin of the tomatoes is not that good, and the seeds, for some people. So you can get it off that way, but either way, I'm so excited that's still there. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that, wash them, dry them, freeze them, and keep going. And this is why I love the small tomatoes, because These can grow almost into winter. Look, I've got a ton of them on here. So it's just going to keep going and going. When I have big tomatoes, I have big issues because I have, as you're going to see, the ravens who really don't bother the tomatoes too much, but sometimes the mockingbirds pick at them. My biggest problem is the squirrels. They will go and take my tomatoes. So I get them off. They're small. They grow 10 times faster. See this one that's orange? This will be red in like 2 days. I really like picking them when they're ripe on the vine. These are just perfect. They'll be sweet and everything, and you want to wash them and dry them and freeze them really within 24 hours because you want them completely fresh. So I'm excited that I've got my tomatoes and the ravens didn't get this one. So they did get some of them back there. Now I know, oh, I know what it is. They are looking through the squash, but that's not what they're looking for. Oh my goodness. This is not a joke. This is the way I do. See these tomatoes? These are yellow pear tomatoes. They're like a cherry tomato. These tomatoes are sweet like sugar. The red tomatoes have that bite a little bit like a regular tomato. And these are just like eating grapes almost. They're not sweet like a grape, but they're real sweet. And that's what's growing over there. And that's why I told you on the garden tour, I don't know what's going on. I see them and then they're gone. They're going along the totes on the wall. Oh my goodness. Looking to see if there's any more because they've taken them all off. And as fast as I see them, they disappear. That's what it is. I don't care. I'm going to get these off today, all these red tomatoes, because it's loaded and there's probably at least 50 of them there. But that is what is going on. I never thought about it until this second. It's a really sweet, soft tomato and it tastes so good. They come right off when they're ripe. And you know what's really nice about them? They grow true. So when I save the seeds, I get this. When you save on a lot of other plants, they cross-pollinate. For some reason, these have not. That's what it is. It's not that they miss this. The ravens don't want it. Oh, that's funny. Well, thanks. Because if I didn't do this video, I wouldn't have known. I would have just picked them and gone on my way. So with that, have a wonderful day. I shouldn't be eating and talking. And don't forget to eat what you grow. And yes, I'm in front of the camera. I really like being behind the camera. So if you really want me in front, go ahead and give a thumbs up and tell me yes. And if you don't, say no. I like you behind the camera better. Have a great day again. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Wow. They just don't know they're here. They missed it. I freeze those too. They're really good. I bet that they got some of the yellow ones off of that one too, and I didn't notice. But here I'm just picking them all off, and some of them, if I have to pull on it, what I do is I keep a scissors down there. I'm going to cut them off. You don't want to damage the plant. You start pulling on it, rip the plant, that's when you end up with problems. So I'm cutting them off with the scissors. If they're on a big stem, then I take them all off. If not, I'll just clip it just above the tomato cap. So I've got a little bit of the cap on so it will last longer, so I get a whole day to take them into the house, wash them, and freeze them. Otherwise they'll rot right away. Is that not cool? Got a whole lot more tomatoes. I got them off just in time. I even found a couple strawberries there, but this worked out really good. So they have been picking through and taking off the ones that they like. That's all right. I got the ones that I want. Get this washed up, frozen, and I have another bag of tomatoes for the freezer for the winter and early spring. That's a nice haul. I think that monarch is following me. Oh, Gary's home. Cool. Can we get him to wave? Hey, Gary. Oh yeah, he sees me.